Hey, welcome to our page. We're Vulcan Motorworks, a BMW repair garage in Canada that specializes in classic BMWs. Our latest project here is this E34 M5 that we found sitting for an unknown amount of time that has nearly 400,000 kilometers on the clock. We've been slowly fixing it up piece by piece, getting it back to its former glory. You can check out those videos on our Instagram page. We've got a lot of requests to make it into a longer YouTube series, so here we are. Today we're going to be tackling some issues we've noticed in the rear end, starting with these worn out pitman arms, also known on the streets as the dog bones. They're not supposed to have this much play in them, and as you can see, they've been on here for a pretty long time, and they were pretty tight to break free. With a little spray of lube, we did manage to get them loose though after just a bit of struggle. The air impact helps to make this job a lot easier. To replace the worn out parts, we got a set of new Lemforder arms that come with new hardware, so we don't have to put back any old rusty parts. Firstly, thread in the new bolts, being careful not to cross thread them. Add the washers in where they're supposed to go. Next, you should preload the suspension and then torque them up to spec. The next issue we found was that the rear wheels were tight to turn and it felt like something was dragging in the handbrake. So we wanted to pull it all apart and make sure it was all alright. Once we got them off, we found they were actually in pretty good shape, considering their age. So we cleaned, lubricated, and adjusted them all, and now it turns just as it should. While we were there, we decided to replace the brake pads and rotors, as they were old and getting a bit tired. We also cleaned and painted the caliper and carrier with some Por 15 caliper paint, which we've used in the past, and we've been very happy with the results. This car came with 15mm spacers that we wanted to remove, and I'm not sure why I put them back on here. It totally slipped my mind. But we ended up pulling them off after this and getting rid of them. One thing that's always bothered me on this car has been this. It's really ugly. As you can see, it's supposed to be a gas tank strap that holds up this half of the tank, but it looks like it broke at some point and somebody put some really ugly welds. Didn't really work. This is the other side. It's a little bit rusty, but you can see it's all there in one piece. And then you come here. Great. Gonna start by putting some penetrating oil on the threads here. This thing looks really rusty, so might not be easy to take it out. If memory serves me correct, these are 6mm Allens. So let me see if I can get one in here. Safety first. It's stripped. Great. Time to bring out the big guns. So I got a good grip on it, but the bolt is twisting. It feels like it's gonna break. I think this bumper has to come off. So, the light broke. I want to use this time here as I'm fixing it to explain our philosophy behind this project and why we want to fix it. So many things in this modern day are made to be used and disposed of, spending the rest of eternity in a landfill. This culture of disposable items, whether it be the latest gadget, clothing, or in our case, cars, isn't very sustainable. Take this broken light as an example. The brittle plastic cracked on removal. We could easily replace the whole part, throwing it in the trash, but I'm able to repair it at no cost to its functionality or even its appearance. This philosophy translates to the whole car. Why throw it out when it can be fixed up and enjoyed for years to come? There's a similar ideology in Japanese culture with broken teacups. They put them back together, filling in the cracks with gold, resulting in them being even more beautiful than they were before. We basically do the same thing, just with JB Weld. Our goal is not to make this car perfect, but to get it to a level where it can be driven and enjoyed again as it should be. Taking out these bumpers is not too hard. Just gotta be careful with the trims, not to break them, be very gentle. And the lights was already kind of broken. I think I made it worse, but I'll fix that. And then these bolts and some fender liners, and it comes right out. Need a new battery. And that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching, and check back in next time as we continue fixing up this M5.